As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps...
It's the charm bucket!
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Yes,
the
bucket.
cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Yes,
go to
bucket.
the cargo lift.
Yes, bucket. I go to the cargo lift, bucket. I jump off the cargo
Good,
lift with
said the
bucket.
bucket.
Now ride the lift.
I die with
Stanley
bucket.
feared that any path he walked,
If I can't
So he
have
threw
bucket,
himself to
nobody
his
can
death.
have bucket!
they might die in one another's arms.
My bucket.
How deeply touching.
Bucket. Narrator? Oh! What?
Okay, this is day number 295. Take number... I don't even know. I've lost track.
Is he Australian now?
Nothing feels real anymore.
No.
The
Impossible.
longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything
Stop
makes.
questioning it.
The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
Pick it up.
No matter how many times I've done it,
Pick it.
it's always the same feeling.
Same feet.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down,
Yeah?
it doesn't make sense.
Bucket.
There's no explanation for it.
Pick it up.
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why
I feel so alive
feels so...
when I have my bucket.
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Eh?
Yes.
Wait, what?
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
But
This is my golden ticket.
no!
But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get...
Hello.
What's that? Who's
Hello.
there?
Gura? Gura. Aha! Oh,
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
yes.
We've done it. We've
We've
escaped from
done
that
it.
dull office and that pesky narrator.
Yes,
At
screw the
last,
narrator.
out here in the white void, we are alone. Now,
Hello.
and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's
Wow.
own complicity therein,
That's
of
horrifying.
sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life
bucket
for the
went on
common
a
man,
crusade?
to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out
Huh?
in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself.
Wow.
Perhaps this was way too much for Stanley,
So
What
I
are you
throw
talking
the
about?
bucket.
he screamed.
Stanley?
You're a bucket.
Yeah,
To
bucket!
this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
The bucket doesn't have any
said the
brow. No.
Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first
Gambhorata.
ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid!
Stupid! You
Hey, bucket!
bucket!
Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed. The bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it. But Stanley just couldn't do it.
I can't do it. I'm
He considered
broken.
the
Fix
possibility
me,
of facing
narrator.
his boss, admitting he had left his post during
I'm
work
gonna go play
hours,
in the
or might
boss's
have died for
toilet.
that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Oh wait, this sounds
All
like
because
repeated
he believed
dialogue.
everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was
Oh.
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe.
Is
he
this
thought to
repeated
himself,
dialogue?
Maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms.
Nah.
Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze.
Say something,
but said
bucket.
nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually
No.
the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times
Say
such as
something,
these.
bucket.
He held the bucket close, yet felt
Bucket.
none of its familiar reassurance and
Bucket?
comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
No.
How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Oh no.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious,
oh.
he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must
My-
find it.
Where's
Far
my
off in the
bucket?
distance now,
Oh,
he
God.
heard it, calling to him.
Stanley!
Yes, bucket.
Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be?
Bucket.
He rushed forward from room to room,
Bucket.
passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were
No.
his. None of them
Where's
were
my
his
bu-
special bucket.
My bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
I'm trying,
He had to
bucket.
find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
Bucket!
And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was
I'm the
incredibly
bucket.
painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Wait. Secret door. You killed the narrator? He's dead. I'm the narrator now. Huh? Escape pod? Escape pod? Escape pod? Am I going to Mars? This is scary. Escape pod lunch bay. Escape. Goodbye, narrator. It's been nice knowing you. Have I called you stinky today? Smelly. A little door. Hi, little guy. No. Bucket. Shh. Don't say anything, Bucket. We'll be together forever, you and I. This is for your own good. Get out there, Bucket, and do what you do best, Bucket. I'll always remember you, Bucket. Go free. Be free, Bucket. I'll save you from this cruel world. Is he gone? Is he actually gone?
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started.
Huh?
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. And try not to lose this one too, you dolt. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Wait, this is
Soothing
different.
him, comforting him,
I'm gonna rub my
reassuring
bucket.
that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
The bucket is here for me. What?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket.
Can we go back up?
When I was pressing those keypad buttons,
There was something very intriguing about number 3.
I want to go back.
I want to
so
go back
can
and try pressing number 3
again.
again. Wait, that's what I did last
Bucket
time.
said nothing.
Bucket! I forgot to push a button. Bucket!
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent.
Come on, Bucket!
This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had
Do the
had
8.
enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
8.
8. Bucket. Alright, we pressed the number 3. And we got the 8. We got the 3-8 combo. Okie dokie. Boink.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of
Eat the
Stanley's?
bucket.
The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator.
No.
He knew that there must be
He's
a way
making
to
me
get
second
through
guess
to the bucket,
myself.
to communicate fully with his dear
Bucket,
friend.
what's wrong with
Surely
you?
there was a
Talk to me,
solution, mustn't there
Bucket.
be?
Bucket. What's wrong with you, Bucket? What's wrong with Bucket? Bucket. 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 What like that? Real Bucket would say something right now. He'd be like, no.
Ah, said Stanley.
I know what to do.
I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3.
Ladies and
over
gentlemen,
and over.
it's time for you to
He
learn
would
the ways of the
elaborate
bucket
fully
and
on
why
what
the
the
bucket
number
is
3 meant to
fantastic.
him. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it,
This is your
developing and
big day,
rehearsing it
Bucket.
until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life. There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would
No!
be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit.
You won't hold my
Only a
hand
silence
anymore.
that consumed the
Bucket.
space between friends.
Bucket.
And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Yes,
Pick up the
Bucket.
phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Flashbang.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Why
Once upon
so
a time,
much
I gave Stanley a
sad?
bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
Bing bong.
And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket can't speak to me! What's your problem, narrator? What have I done to you? I've been nice to you this stream. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press you to take me to work with you. Alright.
The Stanley
Wow,
Parable Reassurance
Bucket.
Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of
Alright.
companionship. It doesn't
Oh,
literally talk and
nice,
give you orders.
Bucket. What?
Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
No! I gotta duct tape your mouth shut. Narrator, press P to take me back home with you. Bucket wants to go home with me.
You see, he's not listening.
Don't listen.
He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Bucket, do you want something to eat,
once upon a
Bucket?
time, it was me
Maybe I
he took
can make you
orders from.
something to
Me
eat,
he
Bucket.
trusted and listened to. Now all
Let's
he
watch
cares
TV,
about is his
Bucket.
awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Isn't this funny, Bucket? Bucket, I want pizza. Can we get pizza, Bucket? Press V to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Why, of course, why would I ever question such...
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me
Bucket,
anymore.
where are you?
From now on, he's just going to
Yes,
cling to this
Bucket.
bucket, this cold,
Yes,
empty
Bucket.
bucket, this sort of
Bucket, what?
shiny bucket.
What are you doing on the
Well,
computer,
look at this.
Bucket?
The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yeah, Bucket. Bucket's beautiful. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Of course I believe you're real, Stanley. Of course, Stanley. Stanley and Bucket are real. Stanley is beautiful. Just like Bucket, isn't that right, Bucket? Property of Stanley. The Bucket named Stanley. My name is Bucket. Bucket? Are you Bucket? Nobody else is here, actually. Just you and me, Stanley.
Yes, I suppose
Me
on
and
closer
Bucket.
inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Bucket.
It's just a little more,
Bucket, where are you?
sturdy,
Bucket!
more capable of
Where are
transporting
you
liquid.
hiding?
Like it would be
Bucket, are you
better at
oh,
moving
that's
an
a
amount of water from
basket.
one room to another.
Bucket's watching TV! What are you watching, Bucket? My favorite channel, Bucket. Bucket! Can we get pizza? Relive the same day with you over and over again with pizza and TV, my favorite. Wow! Bucket,
No,
bucket,
I'm having feelings. The bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
bucket, bucket, bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll